as we all operate for spinal tuberculosis patient, and we love to see all these kind of X-ray in our follow-up. Either we operate simple tuberculosis, just we need to do decompress, and these are the follow-up effects. Even after the deformity correction, we will love to see such kind of a solid fusion in our follow-up patient. So however, when we don't follow certain principles of management, or we don't do fusion for these cases, then we encounter certain problems. Like this patient, this 58-year-old female that was operated elsewhere for POTS paraplegia. And after surgery, patient motor power recovered, spasticity decreases, and gradually at 3 months, gradual assisted mobilization was started and patient improved fully neurologically. And 6 months later, she developed, after the index surgery, she developed new onset of back pain and deformity. Here the X-ray was, this patient developed PGK and loosening of implant, and just because the fusion was not done adequately, maybe it's a complication for other factors as well. So implant was revised, further surgery was done, and the implant were revised for this patient. Another case that has been revisited just because of the poor fusion, and this patient recovered, but patient having low back pain, patient having back pain just because of the failure of implant. So let's just end this. Another example of failed implant just because of the failure of fusion at the site. So fusion is necessary for the successful outcome of all surgically treated. Either we do surgery or not, we aim for fusion for all the tuberculosis patients if they have bony involvement. So the goal of surgical treatment and the indication for the surgical treatment. So the goal is advantage of doing the surgery is that we get adequate sample for the histological confirmation, early and better healing by adequate decompression and debridement. We can correct and prevent spinal deformity and reduces the rate of recurrence by doing surgery and promote early neurological recovery. So the indication, the main indication, neurological deficient deformity, and basically deformity, neurological deficit happens because of the spinal instability. So how to define the spinal instability for these patients? So the score has been given by Dr. Rashikran sir et al. And they have given a system scoring, and the various factors have been included like age and the junctional areas and the deformity angle and the vertebral body loss and spinous sign. If the score is greater than 3, then we need to consider this patient for the surgery. So younger the age should be age of the patient, and we need to be more vigilant because they are prone to get the deformity, and we need to be vigilant regarding when we are considering this patient for surgery. We need to get fusion for this surgery, and especially the junctional area is a cervicothoracic junctional area or a thoracolumbar junctional area. We need to consider for fusion for this area. And if the kyphotic angle is more than 40 degree, more than 30 degree for the thoracolumbar junction, or sagittal deformity angle is greater than 15 degree, then we need to consider surgery for this patient, and we need to aim for fusion. Even if the vertebral body loss, that the formula has been again given by Dr. Rashikran sir, and we need to emphasize on this one. If the total vertebral body loss ratio is greater than 0.5, then we need to consider for fusion for this patient. And if the spine at rest signs are present, then we need to again consider for this patient. So there's a small area, then we can think about non-fusion, like fusion is optional when there is no bony involvement. And just a small area of compression, just like in this example, there is no bony involvement. This patient presented with a dorsal lumbar epidural abscess. The abscess was confined only to the epidural area, but there is no bony involvement. But this patient presented with a neurological deficit. So in this case, we did only the decompression. We didn't do any instrumentation for this patient. So in that cases, we can consider for the non-fusion surgery. Otherwise, fusion surgery in majority of the cases. So the factors that need to be considered for taking surgery and planning, and we want to do fusion. First of all, the age of the patient, like the younger age of the patient or the older age. If the patient is having like an older age, we can plan for the splint surgery and we can remove implant later on. Location of the bony lesion, if the junctional area is getting involved, then we need to think about all those factors. And presence of medical comorbidities, especially in aged patient. Severity of the kyphosis, number of the level that is going to be affected, then we need to plan surgery accordingly, and the regions of his spine involved. And the last and the most important is the experience and the preference of surgeon, how to do the surgery, either do minimally invasive or open or various ways. Thanks a lot for your patience.